So what's going on?
Oh, yeah, no.
Oh yeah.
Got only 3 days left of this fucking Dodge.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
What are you getting?
Hopefully a RAV4
Oh, okay.
or a CRV, something like that. Go Ducks.
Go Ducks.
One of them hybrid engines.
Mm-hmm. The RAV4 is a good one.
Yep.
The Highlander is the one my parents have, and that one is pretty awesome.
That's pretty awesome. That's a little out of my price range. I learned that the third row of seating is actually bad and lame and you don't want it.
On what?
Well, in the Dodge, it wasn't big enough.
Oh, gotcha.
Like with the two kids in Bailey, like they were all scrunched. That's with two kids in Bailey.
In the third row, though?
Yeah. Well, one of the kids was in the third row.
Oh. They're kids.
Yeah.
I used to sit in the back of our, it wasn't ours, Gramps' Camaro, the IROC, and like I looked at the back seat as an adult, and I was like, "How did I fit in that thing?"
You didn't.
Not well is the answer. Yeah, like I just remember being all scrunched up and shit. I decided to switch my mic around this way, see if it was. I mean, it doesn't make any difference, really.
So what's the cause? What's the impetus?
Now it's like right side up. The other way was upside down. It still functioned the same.
Right.
But I was like,
every time I see someone podcast, like their microphone is coming from up here, and I wonder if I'm the one who's fucking it up.
I don't know. I see quite a few that are like they've got the mic down like this, but there are. I mean, it seems like it's like I don't know, 50-50-ish. There's a good split.
People, they usually use their mic really close.
I should do some of that ASMR bullshit with that little microphone I got that works with the phones.
Yeah.
I put on my headphones and then had that microphone hooked up, and I was like, that's why, like, it picked up everything, like sounds I didn't know you could hear, and I was just like didn't know that you could hear. It freaked me out. I hated it.
From behind the door.
Yeah, don't. I'm gonna get off here if you keep doing that.
Okay. I want to so bad.
Dave, what are you doing?
Yeah, what are you doing? Dave's just been sitting there quietly.
Taking notes? Trying to figure out how to make your mic work?
No, that's fine.
Oh.
Yeah. I was just looking up a story that I saw during the week.
Oh, story time.
That I'm looking at right now to find out a little more information.
I learned this week or this last week that either you stick to the plan when it comes to getting in. Still not a problem.
Oh. Yeah, that was interesting.
I was surprised by that, but I wasn't gonna, no man left behind.
Yeah, I was like, where are you going?
He saw an opening and he went for it. The problem is neither one of us saw the cops. So
I saw the cops and the opening, and I was like, that seems like a trap. And then you guys went for it, and I was like, oh, they gone.
Yeah, I didn't see the popo.
It was interesting because like Riv goes in, or like I'm talking to the one girl, and Riv is behind me. So and Dave is ahead of me. So I'm in the middle, and she scanned my one ticket, and then I was like, well, we're just both walking. She did like a little, and that was it. I was like, yep, we're good. We're in.
We had a little bit of an adventure.
Yeah.
Not a big one.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I don't know if it's show worthy, but like,
is it pre-show worthy?
We tried to go in the way we went in, and we didn't go in, and we're like, oh well, like watch us get in over here. So we went in. We tried to go in through the student entrance, but
Mm-hmm.
they have a new way of doing student tickets this year, and it's like you have to scan your phone, and then they let you in.
Mm-hmm.
And like they're like they're not letting the students fuck around at all. And we're like, okay, well, can't go in this way. So we just did the normal shit,
Yeah.
and like we get past the bag check, and we're walking through, and this kid gives us, I swear, this much space from the wall. Bailey's gone, and I get one leg through, and he turns to look at me. I'm like, that guy's got my ticket, and I'm fucking gone.
That's awesome.
And I just escape into the darkness, just zigzag up the stairs.
Escape.
Don't stop moving until you're out of sight.
Right. I still feel like the entrance closer to the Mo is the best one. The next one down. If you keep going,
Oh yeah,
I've always felt like that's the best one to get in because they have half the number of people working there and a regular flow of people trying to get in. So that's where I always like to go. Like if I feel like I need to get in, that's the one.
I haven't
Like
gone that. I haven't gone through there in a long time.
yeah. I was also thinking the other day about how people used to just give you tickets or you could find tickets
Yeah,
regularly. Like I mean that's I would say at least minimally once every other season. Somebody
yeah.
would just
Someone would be like,
give
"Hey, you
me
want a ticket?"
one or more tickets. Yeah. And now it's a little tougher to do.
Yeah, because
I guess
everything's on the phone.
right. I mean, I guess they could just be like, "Hey, you can come in with us. We got an extra," like that sort of thing. I don't know. It's weird.
They they've taken all the fun out of being a fan. Well, being a shithead fan.
Yeah. I really so I had this idea while I was at the casino yesterday. Um remember that what was it called? Flipper Zero thing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we saw that one spot to
Mm-hmm.
get
Mm-hmm.
in. I was like, we could there's more than one door.
There's more than one door.
Right. And you get in one, you get in mall. So that's gonna happen. Like it's on my shopping list. I'm getting
Nice,
one of those.
nice.
Like I don't need it, but I mean I want it.
Right.
um,
Never know when you might need it.
but the reason that came to me at the casino was because um I was using Gramps' slot play because every Tuesday Gramps gets $10 in free slot play. And I was
Mm-hmm.
thinking, man, I saw somebody's player card sitting there and I was like, I wonder if there's a way to get their code to get into the slot play with one of those flipper things. Like I bet it can read the info that's on there, tell you the pin is 1365 or whatever. And then you poke that in. Almost every single one of these gold cards that you see sitting around has players club points on there that you can translate into free slot play,
Yeah.
which would mean anytime I found a card, I could go scan, okay, code, boop, 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 translate into slot play, bloop, 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 plenty. Like Junker's card, he had like 30,000 points. I think it's either 2,000 or 2,500 is $5 in free slot play.
Wow.
So that was a lot that I could have had. I still have his card.
You just don't know the pin.
I don't. He changed it because he gave it to me once to use, and I used his free slot play for the day, and he was like, "I'm changing my pin." I was like, "Man, I didn't know."
I didn't know.
Yeah. Well, now he's also gone, so he doesn't need it.
Well, now he's definitely not going to change the password.
No. So once I get it, I know it. Oh, I need to see if I'm using Wi-Fi.
Yeah, I want to
I
get one
don't
of those. I want to get one of those flipper things, mostly just for going to fucking arcades.
Right? Like that would be fucking cool at the like Dave and Buster's. Dave, did you see this thing? I don't think you know what we're talking about.
Nope.
Flipper Zero.
I'll send you the
I was
link.
plugging my computer in because I was just gonna run it off the battery because I was like,
It's a bad
it's
idea.
fully charged. Um, in the time, in just the 10 minutes, maybe
Mm-hmm.
7 minutes that we've been doing this, I went from 100% to 88. So I was like,
Also,
Hmm.
it'll using the battery makes for a worse connection.
Mm. Well,
so
did
I
you
just went
plug it
ahead.
in? Are
Yeah, I
you
plugged it.
using the
I plugged
Ethernet?
it. Yeah,
Yeah.
but
So
it was still draining pretty quick. So I was like, I'll plug her in.
yeah. Well, hey.
Dave, have you ever had Malort?
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 Nope.
It's like a Chicago thing.
Oh no. I thought
Isn't
something
it?
you say
Isn't
to
it like
like.
a wine type thing?
Yeah, something like that. And apparently it's really, really gross.
It's gross and hmm, it's like if you took wine but you made like a Mad Dog 2020 wine. That's what it reminds me of.
You've had
Remember
Malort?
yeah.
So like
Huh.
Night Train,
Yes. Like
Night
Night
Train
Train.
Merlot.
Yeah, pretty much.
Hmm.
But that's the Gambler 500. That's their big thing. I've noticed the
Oh, yeah.
last year or two. The people have spoken.
We drink Malort. We drink
Yeah.
the shittiest shit that we can find.
So they just pick something to it. It's like the odd for the sake of being odd kind of thing.
Exactly.
Like
That
when
is
you
what the
see
Gambler
someone and
is.
they're like, oh, that person is a little odd, and then when you see a person that is definitely odd just because they think it's cool.
Mm-hmm.
It's like those people they're like, oh, I do the steampunk. Oh, you do steampunk cosplay? Like, no, I dress steampunk every day.
All the time.
You dress up to go to the duck games? No, I dress up every day like it's a duck game.
Yeah, but my visual aesthetic is steampunk.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
I
I enjoy my duck stuff.
so do I.
Kick rocks, nerds.
I drove the Navigator to the store earlier, and as I got out, somebody was like kind of looking over at me, and I have now like the duck plate and the sticker on the back and the stickers on the windows, and I was like, there's no way they could think I'm a duck fan, and I was wearing this. Like,
There will be no confusion.
no way they're gonna guess it. Oh,
I'm
man.
looking at my mustache here. I'm
It's
really
bushy.
hoping that as the rest of my beard grays,
That your
I
mustache will gay.
no, my mustache will just stay black so that I'll have this gray with a black mustache that hangs over. So it'll still look like a handlebar on top of a gray beard.
It might.
I hope,
Or you could dye it.
growing up, Dad, you remember my dad's beard?
I do.
So, do you remember Jake about 10 years ago before he went full gray? No?
Oh, yeah, I kinda.
Okay. So
He looked like you, but bigger.
yep, pretty much.
Okay.
But his
Yep.
beard, and he kept it short, right? But his whole beard was gray except for this corner, from the corners of his mouth to the tip of his chin was a perfect triangle of brown. And the
Perfect triangle
grayness
of
of the
brown.
the
Is
grayness
the
of the
name of the
beard made it
pre-show.
look black. But people used to always ask him if he colored that triangle in because it was like the lines were just perfect. And I was like,
It's
man,
like the inverse of yours.
yeah, where mine's all gray on the chin now. Yeah. So
See, I have
I just hope
one
I
gray
gray
hair
cool.
here. Yeah, like I have like one gray hair here and like one over here that shows up every once in a while. But like I've just went bald. Like I'd rather I'd rather be gray than bald, but hey, given the options, I like this is cool. I'm down with this.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
And it's grown in a lot better over the last 10 years since I've
Oh,
known you.
Oh yeah. I've also like stopped trying to manicure it and just let it do what it does.
Yeah, let it get crazy and then trim it down.
Yeah. Instead of just being like, it needs to be this shape. Oh, I fucked it up.
Mm-hmm.
That's how you fuck it up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is they're like, I'm gonna trim it. Don't do that.
Yep.
Yeah, just like the thing I like right here gets really thick.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of get like I call them like tarantula hairs, where like this part of my mustache gets really, really bushy. And it kind of looks like I got like little tarantula things going on.
Yeah. That's why I do this a lot. So
I find
much.
there's a spot right here that I can tell that I do this with a lot, because by the time my beard gets long, there's like this part of my beard that's like,
oh yeah.
I can't stand the mustache hairs. I always trim them.
Yeah, neither can Jen. I try, but hey, it's
I
work.
stopped trimming my mustache to my lip because I've got such a small upper
Thin lip
area. Yeah. That like some guys,
you
they
need to like
trim their
go make
mustache to
out
the
with
lip.
Glenn Close with your thin lips.
But they still look like they've got a lot of hair before you actually see lip. Not me, man. If I trim this, it's like I've got a pencil thin mustache and then a tiny ass lip underneath it.
You need to do the Gomez Adams.
Yeah, now I kind of want to see it.
Yeah.
My lip?
No, the way. We should take the clippers like I do and just go like I do it right at the edge of the lip line and just go. Zzz, zzz, that's it.
But even if I do, it's fucking ridiculous looking.
It's like shark teeth. I've got rows of hairs. I got to be like, I gotta like push them down and then snip them.
Yeah. I just really want the
There's a lot here.
Hairs pulled and then they go straight down like fucking Tombstone, Sam Elliott.
See, Dave, you kind of have the same thing I've got going on. You've got the Vato split in your mustache.
Oh yeah. Well, because I constantly have to do that to keep them off my bottom lip, but I don't want to trim them because then my mustache looks dumb as shit.
I got a blonde mustache, so
yeah, your mustache kind of doesn't look like it exists.
Not as bad as my eyebrows.
Yeah.
Dude, I don't even my eyebrows stop right here. This has been Cosmo Talk.
I wrote down beard talk.
Beard talk. Is it weird talk? No, it's beard talk. Tune on in and have them here talk.
Nope.
Not like a regular beard. It's like a freaky beard.
Like a freaky beard.
Freaky beard. Piss off, mustache.
Dude, that Lego set is heavy.
Is it?
I have not decided if I'm going to put it together or not, but right now it's sitting on a shelf.
What are the pros and cons of putting it together?
I mean, then you can play with it.
I mean, what are the pros and cons of not putting it together?
The pros of putting it together are you can play with the Lego set and move things and maybe make videos with it. The cons are it's out of the box and can go anywhere and I can lose pieces. But I can still just look at it in the box and it's already put together on the picture. So you know it's in there.
What is
you
this
know
thing
it's
you
in there.
What?
The Flipper Zero?
Yeah, that's that thing.
Yeah, that's what we're talking about.
Oh, well, I was plugging in. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's this thing that it can replicate like those little cards, badges you see, like you go up to the door and you're like, bloop. Yeah. Exactly. See, now he's getting it. It can also replicate cards for like Dave and Buster's, so you can play all the games
for free.
Oh, free. And it's
win
got some
prizes.
other stuff. It also will copy any IR codes or IR. Is that what it is? Yeah, the remote control codes. It copies any of those. So you go to some place at the airport or whatever, and you're like, I don't like this channel. Boop. Change channels.
Julio and I used to do that shit. We had I had the Note 5 and it had an IR on it.
Yeah.
And so I would figure out how to I would look at the brand of the TV like, oh, it's a Sony. Yeah. And I would just change a channel in Applebee's if I didn't want to watch the game that was on.
Yeah.
And I'd just be holding my phone and someone was like, hey, who turned off the Auburn game? I'm like, fuck Auburn.
Yeah.
That's what I said. And then we would also just turn off the TVs randomly. Which reminds me of my favorite prank of all time.
Your favorite prank of all time?
My favorite prank of all time. It may be in the archives.
Is it the one where you're outside the window?
Yep.
Yeah, I remember that.
Dave, do you know that story? I might have to save that for the actual show. Gonna launch it. We're gonna open with story time. Store
it.
survey time.
Oh, we could talk about my fanny pack moment.
Yes, we need to talk about that.
See if I can. Actually, I'm gonna put it on the DVR right now. DVRs.
Diver.
Was Stanford? Yeah, it was Stanford. I was like, what game were we just at? I don't know. Resume. Dun, 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 dun. There they go. They're just doing some things. Footballs, punting, touchdown, Ducks. Trying to remember where it was at. I'm gonna look in the.
It was like 10-0. So it's early second quarter.
What day was the
Saturday.
Saturday. Oh, here we go.
Nice. Hey, you're just fucking vibing, dude. Like I've seen you chill before. You're just like
Right?
getting your shit set up.
Yeah.
Like you guys shit on by Petros. That's pretty funny.
I didn't think it didn't. So I listened to it. Didn't sound like they were shitting on me.
It sounded like they did, and then they walked it back to me.
They were like, "Oh, this guy with his fanny pack. Actually, I wore a fanny pack today. They're kind of useful."
I think what he was like, yeah, look at me, I need attention. That was the part where I was like, are they shitting on him?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe.
I don't know. Fuck him. To hell with him.
Fuck
Still
'em, that's
funny.
why.
You're famous.
Yeah. And so I got sent that by like multiple people. There it was. Yep, I just saw myself. 12 minutes.
Dude, like multiple people. Like I got texts from people.
Yeah.
Like, hey, is Robin at the game? I'm like, yeah, of course she is.
Yeah, Rick Snyder called me like right after it happened. I was like, man, I can't hear you right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, I can save it. Well, there we go. No, I saved it. Because that's a pretty good copy of it. And I can clip it into our video when we talk about it.
Booyah.
Yeah.
Booyah.
We'll play the audio. I sent it to you so you can play it and see. We'll determine were they shitting on me or not.
Well, welcome to this week's show. Were they shitting on you or not? All right, man. Are you ready for a good ass show?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everything? Yeah. Cool. All right, here we are. We're back again. It's another edition. It's another episode of my show. And he's not the person your girlfriend told you not to worry about. Yeah. It's Dave.
Hide your dad's so dick. Wait, what?
What? Dave,
sorry.
find the line, Deaton.
Are we recording?
Cut that.
Leave it in.
My mouth. Oh wait. Shit. Fuck.
Great. We're off to a great start.
Great start.
Speaking of dad dicks, over here to my side, the mouth of the South.
That
Dave's Robin.
Hey, look at that. So switching up the intros. I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Hey, and so Dave introduced me. Who's gonna just introduce Jake? It's also me. But hey, and then we got Jake sitting there.
Hey,
there he is. It's Jake.
How y'all doing?
Hey.
So, if you're watching on YouTube, you heard that we're gonna jump right into story time on my show, and the story of my favorite prank that I ever pulled in the history of ever.
In the history of ever. So here's how we got to here. We were talking about this thing called the yep. What? Hey. We were talking about this thing called Flipper Zero, I believe is what it's called. And it's this little thing. It's It's not meant for hacking things, but it can hack things. Basically, does a whole bunch of other shit. If you want to know what it is, then make sure you're watching on YouTube, and you'll hear what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Are we talking about?
It's a lot of fun.
Yep. So anyway, Jake had a story.
I had a story. We were talking about how I had a phone which had an IR reader on it. And if I could figure out what brand of TV I was looking at, I could control the television. And so I was hanging out with a friend of mine, and we went up. We were in Eugene. It's over by over by Valley River. There's a cemetery up on a hill that's really, like, if you don't know it's there, you'll never see it. But so we go up in there, and there's a bunch of houses around it. And we're walking around the cemetery looking at things. I'm like, oh, I can totally see inside this guy's window. And so I realized that I can figure out what brand of TV he has by looking in the window. And so while he's sitting there, I changed the channel. And I just he looks around, and I go back to looking at the gravestones or whatever, looking at my phone, because no one's going to put two and two together that the guy is using his, I don't have a remote control.
Right.
And if I did, how could I possibly have the remote control for your television?
What are the odds that you have his exact remote?
Exactly. So, and yeah, anyway. So we go home, everything's chilling, and it's one of those Eugene summer nights. The one where you don't get up to anything good, but it's so good and you have a lot of fun. And I'm like, hey, I got an idea. And it's like 11 o'clock, maybe midnight at this point. I'm like, I got an idea. He's like, what? I'm like, I have that guy's TV saved on my phone. I have the settings for turning his TV on.
So was it an app on your phone that you used?
It wasn't an app. It was software provided by the phone, because it had an IR reader on it.
Okay.
So it was just like a universal remote,
Right.
soft. It was an app by definition, but it wasn't something I had to go find. It was just on the phone.
Okay.
That's one of the things. When I had to move away from that phone, I was super disappointed, because I never knew where my remote was, but I always had my phone. So I'd be like, oh no, oh okay, well, doop 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 doop.
You ought to just get another one of those phones.
I absolutely could. I'm sure there's one actually probably laying around my house still.
There you go.
Anyway, so we get up there, we're walking through the cemetery. It is pitch black, right? Nothing going on. And I get there, and I push the button, and I see the TV come on. Yes, okay, but it's on HDMI 1, right? So it's not on anything. And so I'm like, okay, what do I do first? And so I turn the volume all the way up, because I control the television. So I turn the volume to max volume, and then I just cycle inputs until I see something on the TV.
Oh my God.
And it just so happened it was the highlights from the Duck game. So it's like the KEZI local news, which is already tuned really high.
Right.
So it's like, and here's a touchdown now by Oregon on the play. So it's loud enough that we can hear it outside the house. And so
oh man,
we just immediately drop down behind headstones as fast as possible on the non-grave side, to be respectful.
Right.
But
respectfully fucking with people, though.
respectfully fucking with people is the name of this episode.
Oh, I'll write that down.
And so I can't look, because the back porch light comes on, and I know this is an exercise in I just have to know that the chaos is happening behind me. And he has no idea. He's like, who turned on the TV? God damn it, what's going on out there? Who's trying to break into my house? Turned on the TV at full volume.
That's awesome.
And that's.
Oh man.
I hope he shit himself.
I hope he tells that. I want to meet that guy someday, and just hear the story, like organically hear the story from his perspective.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure. Well, maybe there's not really much of a story. Like, let's pretend that it's me, and I hear my TV turned on full blast. I'm like, I get up and I go look at it, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Like, I don't know if I would have had, like, if you did it a couple times, I might have thought something was up. But maybe if you just did it once, I might not even have a story. I might have
That's
just thought
interesting.
my TV was fucking up.
Now imagine you're an older guy. Now I like to imagine that he had to go and buy a new TV because he was certain.
That's what I'm
Mhm.
thinking. Like he probably was like, well, fuck this TV.
Turned
Also,
on in the middle of the
I'm
night.
moving.
I would like to imagine he immediately moved out and left all of his stuff because he thought the house was haunted.
Right.
That's what I want. And then he spent the rest of his life getting
Trying to-
into ghost hunting and never finding anything. So he never got that absolution.
Right.
That he just never got it. And it drove him crazy. And his wife left him and took the kids. And he lost everything until he became homeless and ended up living in a shelter where he was shanked
Man.
because he wouldn't suck a dick.
Oh, it took a turn.
Yep.
That did take a turn.
Dark.
A Freudian turn, maybe.
Yep.
Maybe.
I've been reading a lot of
man.
Dick sucking.
I was gonna go with Edgar Allan Poe, like real dark, but like the gayer his gay cousin or something.
Edgar Allan.
Poe.
Oh, I was really
Poe?
close to something there. I was really close. I thought I had something. Then I got there. I'm like, no, I've got no punchline.
Nope.
Yep.
Almost.
Nope.
That's
Nothing.
funny. I saw a story today or a post on Facebook that was like, there's this place in Tennessee that will pay you $20,000 or $25,000 if you can last in this house for 8 hours. And they said the longest anyone has lasted is 6.
Oh.
Huh.
Yeah.
I'm gonna pull something up for that.
Like, am I allowed to be high while I'm in there? Because I don't know. I feel like if I had a zip with me, I could probably make it through 8
Or like,
hours.
can I put on my headphones and just not
Vibe?
hear anything? Yeah, like, are you looking it up, Dave?
No, actually, I'm
Oh.
I'm looking something else up that reminded me of that.
Naked chicks.
Oh, haunted. Hey,
Tennessee. We're all looking it up. We're
20,000.
vamping.
Yep.
Somebody play
found it.
some vamp music.
What's
Nashville Nightmare. Nashville
What-
Nightmare. Is that it? Yeah. It's got a 40-page waiver you have to sign. The fuck?
Damn.
Like, here's the picture. It's like, looks like fake
Tennessee
blood.
haunted house.
Yeah, so let's see. Yeah, in the words of Randy Jackson, that's gonna be a no for me, dog. That's how they start the story. Okay. I mean, it is on a website called whiskeyriff.com. So
That's true.
That remind me, there is a haunted house.
Oh,
Okay,
it's
see,
one
there's
of
the
these places.
Tennessee one.
I know what this is. I've
What is
heard
it?
of these before.
Maybe it is the same place.
So go ahead, Dave.
I was gonna say they pay you $20,000 to go through.
yeah.
Okay, so maybe it's the same thing. So maybe I have heard of that, but I was looking at another thing. It basically Halloween time. They had this haunted house that you can sign up for. Same thing, you have to sign a waiver.
Mm-hmm.
You actually get your blood pressure taken. You get your heart, like they do your vitals before you go in. Make sure you're not on any medication.
Yeah,
And
you have to pass it. It says you must get a sports physical in quotes and a doctor's letter stating you're physically and mentally cleared. Pass a background check. Pass a screening via Facebook, FaceTime, or phone. Have proof of medical. I think they meant proof of medical insurance. And finally, pass.
No, you have to have a full roof made.
You gotta have a house above you.
Yeah.
And then it says finally pass a portable drug test on the day of the tour. So it sounds like you can't be high.
Can't be high. God damn it.
What does that mean though?
they
A drug
can't test
test?
for
Like
shrooms.
what are they testing for exactly?
Actually,
Can't
that would be the worst drug in the world to go into a haunted house on.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I don't know, but like, what does passing a drug test prove?
It proves that your heart isn't going to explode if they were to do something to you when you're on
Pump you full
cocaine.
of adrenaline. Yeah.
Why would you do coke if you're going into something that's going to scare you? Why wouldn't you do something like the opposite? Like if you know you're going to be raised, why
Like
would you
weed.
Smoke a ton of weed.
exactly?
So yeah,
Mm.
Dave, this is similar to what you were talking about. What Dave's talking about is like this. It's a very similar in the. It's a psychological horror experience
Uh-huh.
in which the actors can't touch you, but they can basically do whatever they want to you to make you scared or to psychologically thrill you, however you choose to look at that. And yeah, some people it's basically just like it's a torture chamber is essentially what it is.
Yeah.
And they're like, how long can you survive being tortured psychologically and physically by
Yeah.
all this shit?
I part of me wants to say, of course, there's that part of me that says, oh, I want to do it because I know for a fact they can't physically hurt me.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, we've been the last haunted house I went through. Now, albeit it was in my hometown, so not really,
The
but
bar is
there's
low.
the bar's low, but there's no excitement for me.
Right.
Like
So
Robin and I went through it, and we were literally counting down as we took steps, and we're like, boom, and then someone would jump out, and then we were about to go around this corner. I was like, Freddy Krueger's around here. We walk around the corner, nothing happens, and then he pops his head out and be like, I heard you. I'm like, yeah, I heard you too.
Yeah. Weird.
So here, according to the Nashville scene, the house can shave your head or eyebrows, inject you with hallucinogens, make you eat bugs, snap you with a mousetrap, wrap plastic wrap around your face, whip you, tase you, bury you alive, and that's just the beginning.
What? So it really is torture.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's basically a snuff film that they
Huh.
just won't kill you.
Inject you with hallucinogens.
Yeah, that doesn't seem legal.
Yeah,
That's probably part of the 40-page waiver. I caught that bug.
Seen it. Yeah,
I feel like
not.
I need a little more research on this one. If they can inject you with hallucinogens.
I want to know what these hallucinogens are,
And what they feel like, and if they're fun.
and do I have to pay extra?
Right.
Can I get
Like,
some after I leave?
I've done hallucinogens, but do I want to inject them? Injecting is usually where I draw the line.
Right, because that's like, are they talking about just under the skin or intravenously?
You gotta like,
Yeah.
or like in the penis.
Oh,
And
nope,
do they have
nope, not doing that.
proper medical staffing for clean needles?
Right. Like, are they gonna come and be like, "Hi, I'm Dr.
Because
Jones, and
I
I'm."
want to get shot up with some hallucinogens, I can just go downtown Seattle and
You can. Absolutely,
find
you
it
can.
on the street, literally
Yeah.
laying in a gutter.
And just fall down, and you'll be high.
Yeah. Be high as
Yeah.
shit.
Like, I don't know. I guess it does kind of take a little bit of the fear away if all of a sudden someone's gonna like gently prep the area with a alcohol
Come out with the
swab.
alcohol swab.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, all right, are you ready for this? Swab. Ha!
Right.
Oh man, that would be good.
Your
though.
life will be forever. Imagine making it 6 hours though. Like, you got 2 hours left of this shit to go. And I imagine, like, if that's apparently being buried alive is just the beginning. But like, again, like, if you're being buried alive, maybe
But
you're
you
just
know
like,
they
okay,
can't kill you.
right? I'd just be like, okay, so they're not gonna fuck with me for like as long as I'm down here.
Like I'm taking
right?
a nap.
Right.
Yeah, like buried alive, more like buried a nap.
I mean, I've been waterboarded just to see what it feels like.
Don't talk
So-
about your sex life.
Well, it was the Navy.
She was a
And-
super squirter.
In the Navy.
Oh,
Actually, no,
man.
what? Never mind.
Never mind.
Never mind.
Different time.
Different story time.
Mhm. Yeah.
That would be
Huh.
my show after dark.
My show after dark.
on HBO.
Yeah.
where
Speaking
we
of
talk-
After Dark,
We
Did
do
you
it
guys-
naked, guys.
you guys remember the duck game? Now we can talk about this clip.
Yes. Yes.
So I was on TV for a solid
20
10
seconds.
to 10 to 20 seconds with just me, and they're talking about me. See if I can. Well, I'll play the video, and then when we watch I'll put it on the video cast. Let's see if we can hear it. Here we go. Play volume. Can you hear that at all?
Not really.
Okay. Well, anyway, so
All right, so I've got the audio here.
you try it.
All right, so here it's time for everybody's favorite new game. Were they shitting on Robin or not? Dun-dun-dun-dun. All right, and cue.
Can't understand the audio.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can also barely understand it.
So
So were they shitting on Robin or not, Dave?
I haven't actually heard the audio yet.
Oh,
I've seen the video, but I didn't hear what they were saying. I heard
so
a part.
okay,
I
here
heard the part
I'll
where
play
they're
it
like,
and I'll repeat it. I'll play it and say what they're saying.
okay.
I'll
I
play it
heard
and
the
listen.
part where they say fanny packs are actually pretty useful. That's all
Well,
I heard.
I'll wait for Dave to be done.
yeah, wait for Dave.
Okay. So he says, so this is how you showed up to our game today. And then Platro says, oh, I wanted attention. And then he said, I never thought I'd wear a fanny pack in adulthood. And the other guy's like, they're useful. That's it. So that was it.
Oh, so one guy was trying to shit on you, and
Yeah.
the other one was like,
I have a
stop
fanny pack.
dressing like a 20-year-old.
Yeah, I guess. But,
Yeah.
but anyway, so they just started showing me. I'm sitting there on my chair. So in the seat I sit in is one of those like movie theater seats that like
Weeble
it's-
wobbles.
yeah, it's on a flip down chair.
A
So
hinge.
yeah, I'm sitting up on the top of the chair because my knee hurts, and they're playing music in the stadium, and I'm like rocking back and forth with the music, and as they're recording me, I was tightening my phone down on my gimbal so that I could record and take videos and pictures and shit. That was it. But I get like all these pictures and videos, and my sister posts on Facebook, oh, were they making fun of my brother? No, they weren't. I was at the game. You're sitting at home with some guy. So
Get
suck it.
some. With
Yeah.
some guy.
Yeah. Take that.
Brother-in-law.
Y'all
He's
vamp
doing
for a minute.
something.
I gotta go do something.
He's doing something.
He's doing something, folks.
All right. Well, Jake is away. Dave and I have been watching Game of Thrones, like
Yes.
all of them, and obviously Jake doesn't understand how awesome it is, and that's his problem. But that show is so good the second time through.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Because then you get to see so much more stuff
Right.
that you didn't notice the first time.
Well, and not only that, but like we understand where the story's going. So we understand who the characters are, and we
Yeah.
understand why they're important.
Mhm.
Plus, we've been watching with the subtitles on, so we're catching all sorts of other stuff.
And all and relations. That's the big one for me.
Yeah.
You're catching so many characters that are related to other characters that you didn't
Right.
realize early on.
Mm-hmm. Sorry, I took a drink.
Yep.
And on top of all of that, it's really fucking funny.
It's hilarious the second time through.
Like,
Absolutely.
I never caught any of the jokes the first time. Like a few. So Jake's back. We're talking about Game of Thrones here and how much better it is the second time watching it through. Because like
you know what really gets me is watching it the first time through. You see all the naked chicks, and you're like, "Oh, that's awesome!" And then you watch it the second time, and the naked chicks come on, and you're like, "Oh, that's awesome!"
100%. Yep.
Yep.
The chicks are awesome every time. So we've also noticed how when we watched it, or at least I did for the photo. So I saw the first 2 seasons on HBO when they had a free preview weekend, and they were getting ready to play the first episode of season 3. So I sat there on the couch. I just had knee surgery, and I watched season 1 and season 2 all the way through. That was cool. Then I watched all of them weekly and then yearly as they came out with more. We're noticing how much faster things seem to have happened, because when we watched it weekly, a lot of these things that we watched seemed like they took a long time, like they were spread out over a long period of time. But when you watch it episode after episode, when you're basically binging, it really, like, the time doesn't seem so slow.
Yeah.
It seems more like a more action packed, I guess, than
Getting
before.
through a story arc doesn't take a month.
Right.
It takes 2 days, maybe.
And that's if we're only watching, 3 or 4 episodes a day.
Yeah.
So I don't know, like I'm really glad we're watching it now, but we really started because of the House of Dragons show, which
Mhm.
is, dude, that shit's so good.
Yeah.
Not a big fan of the giant time jumps, but whatever.
Yeah, Jake, your mic's still not
Jake,
working.
you're not talking.
Oh,
There
okay.
he
Well,
is. Hey.
well, hey, all right.
And it's
I came
Black
back. I had a
Rose.
really funny thing I said. I was like, hey, you guys talking about that dragon show?
Oh.
Anyway, that the way you talk about that though reminds me a little bit about Breaking Bad. When you really realize and you get into season 6, you realize
Mhm.
all this has transpired over the course of 1 year.
Right.
So if you go back and you're like, oh my god, that's crazy. And if you go back and you watch that show with that that lens, and you're like, this
Yeah.
all happened within the span of a year.
Yeah.
Like
It
that's
changes
insane.
so much.
Because we watched it, we're like, oh, this has been 6 years that he's been battling cancer and all
Right.
this. It's like,
Right.
no, it's only been 4 months.
You don't
Like
notice it, right? And yeah, exactly. So there's like the
the changes.
yeah, like so in Game of Thrones, there's this one chick, she basically gets married off to this guy who's just terrible. And the shit that happens to her, I remember it seeming like it took forever. Like it was over a long fucking time. Well, it is, but it's not. Like on the show, it's maybe a couple weeks, maybe a couple months. But in my mind, it was like she was getting messed up for years, and really it wasn't that bad. But at the same time, it still sucks. But you understand the way the time, because when they sat down and wrote this stuff, they probably just sat down and worked themselves through it.
Mhm.
They didn't think, oh, hey, these guys are only going to watch one little bit a month or a week, or like. So it just, I don't know. I like the show a lot more the second time for sure.
Mhm.
Really good. Where'd you go?
Where did I go?
Yeah.
Oh, I had to make sure the kids were in bed.
Oh, yeah. Go to bed.
Night, night.
Yeah, yeah, and they were.
Here we go.
Good.
Night night.
Peel their muffin top back blue.
Yeah.
Can I get a Peeless Muffin Cap back blue?
Yep. He did. He did it.
Did it. Did it.
So I've been playing. I picked up Red Dead Redemption again. Started playing that.
Oh, I just took
Yeah,
that to the game store today and sold it
Oh man,
because I
Yeah,
haven't played it in like 2 years.
I was looking at it. I was like, man, I'm tired of playing Fallout. I played a bunch of Fallout, and it's like it's all pretty much the same.
Yeah.
Walk into this building. This guy's like, hey, I live here. And you're like, well, I live here too. And you're like, give me all your money. And he's like, no. And so I'm like, bang. Then I take all of his money.
Wow. Sounds like a
The-
CBS drama.
Which
Yeah.
which Fallout were you playing?
All of them.
Okay.
New Vegas, 3, 4.
I got into 4 for a while, but mostly because I bought the Game of the Year edition,
Right.
and it came with all the mods.
And that's
all
a way
the
to do it.
All the PC people got into it, so I could start building my cities right away.
Yeah.
And then I'm running around with this one gun, and like a death claw comes out, and I'm like, bang, and it's dead. I'm like, I am bored now.
Yeah.
This bores me.
There's a weird there's a bell curve in this game from where it's fun, because there are times like when you're starting that you're just gonna die a lot over and over and over. You have to go that way, and you can't go that way because there's a bunch of things that want to kill you that way.
Hmm.
Mhm.
And so it's kind of hard sometimes, and so you get really frustrated. You're like, fine, I'll go do something else. And they go level up, and then when you go back to go through that thing again, you're just walking through. You're like, hey, have a hand. Peekaboo, I see you. Just
Yeah.
basically running through the wilderness,
Mhm.
the wasteland.
Man.
Yep.
I haven't. So I played a ton of Call of Duty pretty much from the time Warzone came out until like a month ago, and then I just kind of stopped. I played Vanguard. I played a couple out games. I almost said episodes. I played a couple matches, team deathmatch yesterday, I think. But I just have not. I don't know. I'm frustrated because they keep changing the maps just a little bit. Like they changed the lighting on the Rebirth Island, and I'm like, it looks stupid. I don't like it when it basically looks like, you know how when we get the smoke here and it gets that orange tint to it. It looks
Mhm.
like that. I'm like, I've lived that.
Sepia filter.
I don't like it.
Yeah. And they flipped the sun on that map.
Well, they did that a long time ago.
Yeah.
That was like
What do you
back
mean
in
what do you
March.
mean they flipped the sun?
They moved it like
Yeah.
so the shadows are from a different
Yeah.
angle. And so,
Why
yeah,
Because,
it was
because they're like let's change something.
yeah.
Well,
It messed with a lot of people, that's for
yeah,
sure.
they want to change something, but they don't want to give the people what they want. They want to change something that they want to change.
Oh, so it's like EA.
Yeah.
Exactly. They have a new map, like a whole bunch of new shit coming out soon. I guess yeah, November 11th, I think, is when the new Modern Warfare comes
Veterans
out.
Day.
Yeah, it is
That's
it.
convenient.
Feel like something else
Yeah.
comes out that day. Maybe it's a movie.
Dave, maybe.
It could be Black Panther 2, maybe.
Maybe.
I
Could
think
be.
that's it. Black Panther 2 comes out right around then. They just dropped another trailer, and I'm kind of doing the thing that you and Alex seem to do, or maybe it's just Alex, but I was like, I'm not gonna watch it.
No,
I don't.
that's primarily me, but I'm not militant about it.
I
Like
just
if I see a trailer, I'll be like, okay, that's cool, but I'm not like, no, bro, no, not watching it.
I just don't want to watch it because I feel like I'm already gonna watch Black Panther, and
You're
you
gonna
guys
see
are
everything that you
trying.
want to see.
Right, you guys are trying so hard to not tell us the storyline that I feel like anything you show me in a trailer is just gonna be annoying.
This is
Like
gonna be pulp action for the sake of action.
I don't want it. I don't
And
want
you're
to
gonna
see
miss
it.
all the cool fight scenes. You're gonna ruin all the cool fight scenes. Exactly. This is exactly me. This is exactly why.
I was
Because
just annoyed.
like I want to find out the story by watching the movie. I want to see
Yeah.
the fight scenes by watching the movie. Like
Right.
if it's a movie I have no interest in, or like I didn't know about John Wick, and so I'm like, oh, let me see a trailer. I'm like, oh shit, that looks cool.
Right.
Like that's when a trailer serves well. When it's a movie I'm already gonna see, I have absolutely no reason to watch a trailer.
Yeah.
I am not the target demographic.
I think I'm getting annoyed with Marvel's trailers, is what
They're
it
very
is.
formulaic too.
They are. It's like you've probably seen the videos where somebody will take like multiple trailers and put them side by side, and it's like action, cut to this guy, and it's very much a pattern, a formula, if you will.
I watched a dude. He was like, "Hey, all right. Well, the new trailer just dropped. Let's watch it on stream, everybody." And he's watching. He's like, "Yeah, this is all right. It's pretty average." He's like, "I'm gonna see if I can start guessing the lines in the trailer." And he nailed like 3 lines that were. He's like, it was the Black Adam trailer, and he nailed like the next 3 lines that were gonna be said. And he's like, "I just know. Like, there's no reason. I know what they're gonna say. I know what you're gonna show me."
Right.
You know, I mean, back when Iron Man came out, and we're like, what? They're making superhero movies again? And then they're like, but watch the trailer. Just check the trailer out, and it'll be like, give it a look. And you're like, okay, yeah, that's cool. Now it's like, now the trailer is as much of a production as a movie is.
Yeah, and a lot of one of the big things that pisses me off is that they'll put a bunch of stuff in the trailers that isn't in the movie, and that, dude,
I hate that.
There was the one that I always fall back to. I shouldn't say always, but in the last couple of years is the Infinity War, where you see Hulk running on the battlefield.
Yeah,
Hulk never shows up.
That's
bullshit.
Oh, yeah.
That was stupid.
Like there was the scene where he was where Banner was in the Hulkbuster and he busts out of the Hulkbuster. Like that didn't happen.
Yeah.
I was waiting for it and it didn't happen.
Same. And
Mad.
that's how they get you.
That's how they get
That's
me
how they
mad.
get you.
Well, it's almost like Marvel was like, hey, you know what we did through the first 4 phases and it worked so well for us? Let's not change that.
Well, but they have started doing the TV shows where they're going.
Yeah, but I mean their trailers.
Oh, gotcha.
It's like they found that it's people. They've gotten to the point where people are going to see these movies, so the trailers can be the same regurgitated.
I mean, that's the same problem. That's the
Formula
same thing
or-
that's happening in wrestling.
Yeah.
If we're being honest, it's like they know that the
Ooh.
same people are going to show up. What's
I
up?
watched the Tales
Tales
from the Territories.
Oh, I was going to watch it, but it wasn't out until 10, and
You'll like it.
I'm
I'll just
looking
give you
forward to
the
watching it.
side story here. Tales from the Territories, new show on Vice. It's very much like this. It's guys sitting around talking about stories. That's
Talking
it.
about wrestling.
But they're talking about wrestling. The time they had the first one is the Tennessee Territory. So it's Jerry Lawler, Jeff Jarrett. There's some stories. The one Mario, I can't remember the guy's last name, but
Ronaldo?
no. Anyway,
Esposito.
he attacked the promoter basically, and it was a move. Like they explained the whole thing. The guy lost his eye.
Oh shit.
Yeah, that story. I'm like, oh fuck. The rest of the time, I'm like, these are good stories. Well, yeah, it's good. Anyway, back to movie trailers. There's the Black Adam one fits that shit too, which is DC and Marvel copying each other or vice versa. I don't know which way you want to word it. But I still want to see Black Adam, and I'm gonna see Black Adam. I'm gonna see Black Panther. The one that bugs me though, that's not. Well, I guess it is still Disney now. The Avatar, Avatar 2. Whenever it decides to actually come out, I'm gonna watch it. But I think they've annoyed enough people that they're kind of worried that it's not gonna make the $1 billion that they thought it was going to.
I'm not sure I'm gonna see Avatar 2. I did not like Avatar 1.
Why?
I just didn't maybe I need to go back and watch it again, but I think it's one of those situations where I let people tell me that it was the most amazing movie that they had ever seen, and when I went and saw it, it just wasn't the most amazing movie I had ever seen. And so like I was pissed off at it. And I think that's where I think Avatar is the main reason for my movie cynicism, because like I kept hearing, "Oh my God, you're gonna love this movie. It's so amazing. You're gonna love it. Like it's beautiful." And like, yeah, it's nice to look at, but like I've seen CGI before, and it wasn't that great. And like the weird love story in the middle was kind of weird. The tail fucking thing, that was a little awkward.
Ass.
And like I don't know. I think the Avatar thing is kind of a cool idea. A little heavy-handed on the narrative, but
I love
Dances
this.
with Wolves meets Fern Gully.
Also meets the United States military complex.
No.
I loved the 3D when it was in theater, but when you said the fucking tail fucking thing, it made my mind think, wait a second, if that's how they did that, and that's also how they rode all the animals, what are they saying?
Right. Yeah.
Interspecies erotica, fucko.
Interspecies erotica is not illegal. Look
Ooh,
it up.
but I want to see Clerks 3.
Yes.
When can we see that? That's the one I need to see.
Soon, hopefully, man.
I need to
I think it comes out in a couple
I don't
weeks.
think I ever saw 2.
Oh, you should. How like 2 is fantastic.
Oh, yeah, I have that. If you
I'll watch it.
Are you gonna have problems sleeping tonight? Because I can send it with you.
No, I've been waking up at 5:30 every morning.
No, I've been jerking off regularly.
Drinking tonight, so I'm definitely gonna be sleeping tonight.
Okay. Well,
I put the incredible power crushing weight of incredible talent in front of the television, so that's on deck. I've got family coming into town this weekend, so I'm not going to have a ton of free time, but there'll also be no children in the house, so there'll be definite free time.
That movie is really good. It's
you're gonna
really
spend
good.
It watching movies.
Partially.
Okay.
Clerks
3.
Couldn't hear that, Dave. I think what you did was.
He did. I think he did the talking about. That's what I'm talking about. So he self cut out.
My noise canceling is actually really good, I guess.
Yeah, I can't hear that.
Damn. On point. First thing technologically I've ever done correct.
So I've got something else for. I think something you'll like this, Robin. Have you heard of the Pentaverate? The Pentaverate.
It sounds familiar. What is it?
It's a new show on Netflix, but the Pentaverate
Is it with
Myers.
Mike Myers?
Yes.
Yeah.
I watched the first 2 episodes. It's pretty funny. It's definitely a Mike Myers production. I'll put it that way.
I want to see that.
Did they release the whole thing?
There are 6 episodes out right now.
Okay.
But yeah, like
This is when I stopped watching. Oh, the Steve Carell one I stopped watching because I was
The
like,
Patient?
yeah, like I liked the first 4 episodes, really fucking good. And then I was like, but I'm not waiting a week. I'm not doing that.
I'm not doing that.
I'm not. But I did watch most of the nude scenes from Blonde. That came out this last week.
Oh,
What's
is that
that?
is
that the Hocus Pocus sequel?
Nope, that's Hocus Pocus too.
Oh, Pig in the City. My bad.
Exactly. No, Blonde is the semi-fictionalized Marilyn Monroe movie. So Marilyn Monroe, kind of. It's like there was a book by the same name that was somewhat real but somewhat made up. So there's
I feel
parts
like
of
when
it
I
that
said
are.
myopic biopic, that was really funny and
Oh,
nobody
I
laughed.
didn't hear a difference because that sounded like you said biopic twice.
Oh, myopic biopic.
Because what?
That was a good one. There you go.
Yeah.
Thank you, David.
Anyway, the nudity in the movie is supposedly like bad or negatively thought of. It's an NC-17 movie. And I was like, why would this movie be NC-17? Let me watch. So I fast forward to the first nudity, which is like really early. The mom gets naked. Then Anna de Armas gets naked and she's doing 2 guys. I was like, oh, okay, that makes sense. And then she is, well, like I might have missed some of it, but she's forced to go down on JFK. And you see like her hand like going. I was like, oh shit, that's like, you don't see dick,
but you see action.
You're like it's crazy how yeah. It's like, let me watch right now.
That reminds me, have you ever heard of the movie Buffalo 66?
No.
So it's a weird movie, and it's one that I would recommend watching if you're ever just in one of those moods to just take in, for lack of a better term, an art film.
Okay.
It's about this guy who gets out of jail, and he was born the day that the Buffalo Bills lost the Super Bowl. And Scott Wood, not Scott Norwood, Scott Wood misses the field goal, and every day for the rest of his life, for his entire life, his mother has watched the Super Bowl on tape because that's how she had to watch it, because she was giving birth to him, and she blames him for the fact that the Bills lost. So he's mad at Scott Wood for ruining his life. So his life is ruined because of this kicker. And so his whole plan is he's going to go kill Scott Wood.
Oh, okay.
And so in the meantime, he ends up kidnapping Christina Ricci and he's got to bring her home to his family to introduce them for Thanksgiving dinner and all this stuff. Like, it's a pretty weird story, but if you watch it, you'll you'll hear things that I've said to you many, many times that just have gone by.
Okay.
It's another one of those movies. Anyway, so the reason I bring this movie up is because he made another movie. It was basically about him and this woman traveling across the country, and he was the Holy Trinity, the writer, director, and producer, and star. And so, like, there's apparently just like a 30-minute blowjob scene that's just an explicit, just roadhead scene.
Oh.
And like, it's just in the middle of the movie, while they're driving down the freeway, just.
Where else would it be?
Right? Makes sense.
But yeah, so but go back and watch Buffalo 66.
Okay.
There's a lot of, it's very, very Lynch, a very David Lynch style film.
Okay.
So kind of along those lines.
Gotcha.
Also Blue Velvet. If you haven't seen Blue Velvet, that movie's great.
Blue Velvet?
Yeah.
I don't know.
More movies Robin hasn't seen. How the script
Velvet
has flipped it.
Oh man, dang it! I was gonna say something that I can't remember what it was though.
Dave just said something. I didn't hear him though. What'd you say, David?
forgot what I said. I should probably
Right?
have another drink.
That happens. The Black
Damn
Adam
it.
trailer was just on, which made me laugh because you're talking about that, and it's like, hey, look, we've seen this.
You know, I
Damn it.
don't know how I feel about the Black Adam movie, the way it seems to be portrayed so far in the trailers.
What you mean?
I feel like they're skipping over a whole lot of Black Adam being the bad guy to make Dwayne Johnson a good guy.
I
Yep.
remember what I was gonna say.
Very.
Go ahead,
They're
keep
trying.
going, I got it.
Yeah, they're
There's-
trying to
there's-
make him anti-hero instead of just making him bad guy.
Yeah, because I'm not a huge Black Adam knowledgeably. I don't
Mark.
know a whole lot.
You're not a Mark.
Yeah, I don't know a whole lot about Black Adam, but what I do know is that there's a good amount of time that he has existed in DC that he was just a bad guy.
Mm-hmm.
It took quite a while before he, quote unquote, saw the error of his ways and became the anti-hero that he becomes.
I think quite a bit of that movie is actually gonna be him being a bad guy. I think
But the thing is, I don't think a good amount of that movie should be him being a bad guy. I feel like
The whole
the
movie.
whole movie should be him being a bad guy, and then maybe give him that redemption story in the next thing.
yeah. Well,
Because-
that's not how it works when The Rock is involved, because The
Exa-
Rock
yeah, that's-
wants him to be how he wants him to be.
The
Yeah.
Rock is gonna smell what The Rock is cooking. That's what's up.
Yeah,
The
and it's
Rock is gonna
bullshit.
smell what The Rock is cooking is the name of the episode.
And it's bullshit.
Oh. Now
Tell
I
me
remember.
you're natty. Fuck you.
Wait, what?
What?
No, it's just stories about how The Rock has gone on record many times saying that he's natural and doesn't take testosterone or steroids or anything. I don't
Hey,
believe
me
it.
either, buddy.
Well, he might not now.
Now that there's nobody who can test him.
Now that
Yeah, I
he's in
mean,
his-
like, he does what he wants.
now that he's in his fifth. Oh, you mean he's not natural now?
I don't know. I don't know what he is or isn't. I don't know that it should matter. He's probably on every.
I
I'll
know,
tell
I
you,
just-
that Dwayne the Rock Johnson. If I took as many steroids as he did, I'd look just like him.
Would you? Would you know? Would
Yeah,
you
I
know?
would.
Would you know?
That's exactly
I
how
mean-
I'd look.
I feel like I just kind of threw that out there because I really don't give a shit.
Well, hey,
Because
Well, hey,
I'd stick a couple needles in my butt cheek to make myself bigger.
I know. No, I remember what I was gonna say. They announced Deadpool 3. Not just announced it,
hey,
but with fucking Logan, Hugh Jackman, huge jacked man is
Mhm.
gonna be in it, and he's gonna wear the fucking yellow Wolverine suit finally.
So veiny.
he's gonna be veiny, the main vein. No,
He's gonna-
like that's another thing. Like I was like, I don't want to have any of the jokes from Deadpool 3 ruined for me. Like, because they're gonna put like 2 or 3 of those good punchlines in the trailer.
I watched an interview with the writers, like 3 dudes that are writing for it, and it sounded like they have so much fucking material that we don't like. Even if they tell you 2 or 3 of the punchlines, you're gonna have 1,000 to be like, oh, okay.
All right. I'm fine.
I got.
I mean,
Ah.
but all those movies, they're all just like one-liner, amazing one-liner after amazing one-liner.
Yeah, why are people so mad about the fucking comic movies being funny though? I don't get that.
People want to be mad about everything.
That's true. Man, that saying they'd be mad if they got hung with a new rope, that sort of thing.
I do. Yeah. Yep.
I just wish I was hung.
Well, that's the
yeah.
thing.
That's why you're trying to find the line.
Yeah, find the line to walk it and then be hung.
And fuck it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Walk it, like it.
Like it, tuck it.
Hey.
Tuck it. Hey. And that's how we worked Trap. I was trying to find my old picture because I messed up on my phone and I changed my desktop, or not my desktop on my phone, my lock screen. And I was going through trying to figure out like where the picture was that I want, because I still have that picture of the girl, like she's wearing a mesh shirt and she's got her arms covering her boobs, and someone has thrown like a bag of flour at her, and it's like exploding off her back. And it's really one of my favorite pictures. But in looking for it, I have found the pictures that I took when we were at the Redbox Bowl, and yeah, just I didn't take very many, but it's just like the second quarter 0-0, nobody's moving the fucking ball, and then just Oregon wins, and then there's us on the former coach's Twitter, hanging out.
That was good times.
That was a good time.
I do that a lot too,
Oh, I
where
can't show
I'm
that.
going through pictures, and I realized that in drunken state, I take a lot of pictures of Ducks games, but then I don't post them.
You never post anything.
I don't do anything with the pictures I take. I've got something like 1,500 pictures on my phone, and I go through it looking for something, and I'm like, when did I take all these pictures?
Like, here's a picture of Macho Man Randy Savage doing the cream of the crop. You know how many copies of the picture of Macho Man Randy Savage doing the cream of the crop are probably on my phone?
1,000.
See,
probably, honestly.
2,693 pictures, and I don't know what most of them are.
Well, hey. Wait. Do you want to guess how many pictures are on my phone?
4,286.
6 billion.
Jake was closer. No. 7,542.
Wow.
Well, actually, that's not true, because that's pictures and videos. So where do I find just pictures? Is that an option? Well, if I go to just video, it's 1,700. I have 1,718 videos.
I believe that tracks.
Let's go back and see some of the first. Oh, the oldest one. Okay, I'm gonna play it. Hold on. Well, I can play it. You don't really need the audio, but
yes.
Yes.
I'm Dave Deaton, and this is the news.
Okay, so this is the first. I just scrolled all the way to the
top. Derry.
Okay, Derry, okay.
The first picture saved on my phone. It must have been right before Veterans Day. I don't know if you can see it.
Oh yeah, I see it.
Psst,
eagerly.
It's an eagle looking in a mirror, and one side says, "Psst, thank you for your service."
The first picture.
Are you watching this one?
Yes, I am. You can't see it blurry. It's Christopher Jericho.
I was gonna say that looks like Chris Jericho, but blurry.
It is. It's blurry Jericho. That's the first picture on my phone. Then there's me in a turban. This is actually kind of a dope picture.
Here's a good one.
Oh yeah.
It's TCP production crew.
I guess.
Here we go. This is the part of the show where we just show videos
and
so
pictures
if you're not
from our
watching
phone
on YouTube.
This is why you need to be on the video version.
Jake has a turban.
I do. I look good in it.
Hello, Jake. Let me see your turban.
Well, the Sikhs were there at Seattle Center. I was at a brew festival, and they were giving out turbans to people. And I was like, "Hey, y'all got yellow?" And they're like, "Yeah." And they're like, "Do you want a turban?" It's also really, really hard to not do the voice. So they're like, "Would you like a turban?" Yeah, would you like and I'm even finding the cadence happening as I'm saying stuff.
I hear
it. So they asked me if I wanted a turban, and I said yes. And so they told me essentially like how the whole history of the turban and everything works and why it is the way. Oh yeah, yes, yes. Dern 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 dern. But so yeah, I learned about like how a turban like wicks heat away from the head, and how like the different like the knot on the front of the turban means something different than the turban. Yeah, like I was like, this is pretty educational.
Remember when we had to wear masks?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that day.
That sucked.
Hey, that looks like we're about to film a fucking 2000s rap video, and Mace is gonna be there.
Bow 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 bow. Bow, bow. Yeah.
Oh,
good
hey,
times.
See, let's get you good. Oh, you can't really see it.
I remember that, the Saber Force shit. It was Dave's.
It's
That's blurry.
So this, apparently I did iCloud right before I moved to Washington.
Oh,
Or
okay.
when I lived, because that's a picture of my sister, myself, and my 2 nephews, and we're at a Mariners game. And I remember that picture because right after that,
I
a
pulled my
lady
dick
came
out.
up. No, the opposite. I
No.
sucked it in. Right after that picture, a lady came up and she says, "Oh, you've got such a nice looking family," which isn't wrong because it's my sister and her 2 sons.
Oh, right.
But I look like a white dude, and my sister's Filipino, and her 2 boys look like half white, half Filipinos.
That
So people would always think that they were my children.
makes sense.
So eventually, we made a T-shirt for when we'd go out to games that said, "She's my sister, not my kids."
Hey, look at these guys.
Yeah.
Hey, those are some handsome dudes.
Remember when Alex was on the show?
I remember that day.
I'll drink to the OG.
I remember
crew.
that from back in the day.
Remember that from back in the day?
Man, I really gained a lot of weight and grew a beard.
Did you? Man.
He's a stunt granny.
I wonder what the longest video is I have on my phone. Okay.
I mean, I have
think
some
I know.
movies on my phone, so it's.
No, video that you've recorded. What's the longest video you've recorded?
I don't know. I mean, how long does it take to come?
I don't know.
Let's see, I got one of those. But sometimes I don't record the whole thing, just the the finishing 30 seconds.
Okay.
All right. So how long is that?
Oh, I
Could
That
you
is
hear
another-
that?
She's a bitch.
Oh man.
Hey, remember Finger Racists?
Yeah.
Finger KKK?
Finger race is pretty legendary.
Oh
When I
man.
almost chopped my fingers off.
That's good
Yeah,
time.
that's
I
how
can't
the David
see shit in
Deaton,
this thing.
the David Deaton School of Safety Second.
Yeah, there's probably a bunch of good videos of that.
That is the fun thing about going through all my pictures, is I will randomly find screenshotted nudes from chicks that sent me, and I'm like, oh, I remember her from 5 years ago. Whatever. Like, man, and then I send her a text message immediately. Yeah.
Oh man, good stuff.
Well, these people, they could have been anywhere in the world, but they're here with us looking through our phones. We appreciate that. Make sure you're checking us out on YouTube so you can actually see what we're doing and see some of the funny, because it's some good shit. Some really good shit. But for this episode, this edition of my show with Alex and Jake, good night, universe.
That's podcast.
Go Ducks.
If you want the dick pics, you gotta go on OnlyFans.com.
Go
Slash baby dick.